understanding science and scientific revolution. In science, we learn how things and how things work. Science is the study of the laws of nature and the structure of behavior of the physical and natural world. We learn that everything is in constant state of change, that things don't just happen at random, but have a cause and effect, that things are just not chaotic and unpredictable but can be predicted. Scientific revolutions. The scientific revolution is so meaningful in the development of human beings, growth of knowledge, transmission of the society, and in the invention of scientific ideas. It is a time in the history of humankind where many scientific ideas, inventions, innovations, and discoveries that were considered useful were established. It pushed people to move away from thoughts experienced to data-driven and experiment-based ideas.
The intellectual revolution is the time period when advancements in science and technology change people's perceptions and beliefs. Scientists in all periods of time are driven by their curiosity, critical thinking, and creativity to explore the physical and natural worlds.
This is what I learned in Lesson 4, Philippine Government Science and Technology Agenda. In this lesson, it says that beginning of all that we have such as culture, religion, and knowledge brought by the colonizers from different countries. Due to their presence in our country, there are things that change what I can consider an advantage. Learn that development of science and technology are two aspects which are internal influence, which involve survival, culture, economy, politics, and human resources. External influence, which involves foreign influence, trade with foreign country, international economic demands. Furthermore, the NCRP recommend the policies that will increase the competitiveness of the Philippines in Asian region. These policies clustered into 4. Cluster 1, Social Science, Humanities Education, and Industrial Policies and Governance. Cluster 2, Physics, Engineering, and Industrial Research, Earth and Space Science, and Mathematics. Cluster 3, Medical, Chemical, and Pharmaceutical Science. And last, Cluster 4, Biological Sciences, Agriculture, and Forestry. That's all I learned from this lesson.
Learned from the lesson 5, which is the programs and personalities in science and technology in the Philippines. Recognizing that science and technology are among the pillars of economic development, the Philippine government is implementing several programs to further support the expansion of science and technology in the country. At the beginning of the 21st century and the rise of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, we see the need to develop more engineers, doctors, science, and other professionals to serve the needs of the people. We also recognize the need for new technologies to help build the economy and other fields. These science and technologies programs are also promote the development of scientifically literate citizens. In this lesson, we will explore these different science and technology programs that are implemented by the government from the national to the community level. The following were the various Filipino scientists that contributed immensely to the advancement of science and technology. These scientists have dedicated their lives and their talents to help build the science and technology capability of the country and develop more science research to find solutions to the different issues and problems of the Philippines.
5 Filipino scientists. Ramon Cabanas Barba,
Lourdes Jansoy Cruz, Josefino Cacas Comiso, Fabian Millar Dairet, Jose Behar Cruz Jr.,
I have learned in science education in Philippines. I have learned that the Philippines is doing its best to improve science education in the country. Government established programs, scholarship, and science schools like the OST funded scholarship, Philippine Science High School, Special Science Education Project, Quezon City Regional High School, and Manila Science High School. These schools and programs can help students develop their inquiry skills, values, and attitudes as objectivity, curiosity, honesty, and the habits of mind, including critical thinking.
Indigenous science technology in Philippines. During the early times, Filipinos tried to invent tools that will help them in everyday life. Some examples of indigenous plants: predicting weather conditions and seasons, using knowledge in observing animals' behavior and celestial bodies, using herbal medicine, preserving food, classifying plants and animals into families and groups based on cultural properties, preserving and selecting good seeds for planting, using indigenous technology in daily lives, building local irrigation systems, classifying different types of soil for plants based on cultural properties, producing wires and juices from tropical fruits, and keeping the custom of growing plants and vegetables in the yard.
My learnings is all about human flourishing. Human flourishing is both the optimal continuing development of human beings' potentials and living well as human beings. According to Aristotle, eudaimonia means doing and living well, or being happy, to be good spirit. So, as for the examples of having a human flourishing, it has a generic goods and virtues, for example, such as goods as knowledge, health, friendship, creative achievement, beauty, and pleasure.
Lesson 9, Techne and Episteme. In this part of lesson, there is plenty of reading materials that you must read in order for you to understand what Techne and Episteme refers to or stands for. During discussion, I learned that Techne, also known as craft knowledge, is pronounced as kept, which means carpentry. It refers to production that contrasted with action. This part, Aristotle develops 4 causes of casualty, or the process of becoming, which involves the material cost or the material being used. The next one is the efficient cost, which is the manpower. The next one is the formal cost or the changes, and the final cost, which indicates the purpose of a specific object. Meanwhile, episteme, also known as scientific knowledge, is concerned with what is necessary and focuses more on knowledge.
Ethics and values in science and technology. Ethics and values, the relationship between science and technology, is something that we inevitably come in contact with as we normally juxtapose the term together, the same juxtaposition in words, ethics and values. The technology ethics comprises values and ethical consideration that should guide regulation and oversight, protect privacy and confidentiality, and require responsible actions in creation use of technology. Ethics is an important consideration in science. Scientific investigation must be guided by what is right and what is wrong. That's where ethical rules came in. They help ensure that science is done safely and that scientific knowledge is released.
Hi everyone, welcome to my video presentation. My name is Percy and I will share with you my learnings about the information age. Information age is a period beginning in the last quarter 20th century when information became easily accessible through publications and through the manipulation of information by computers and computer networks. The amount of information available to us is overwhelming. The internet has made it possible to access an incredible amount of information on almost any topic imaginable. However, this abundance of information can also be overwhelming and make it difficult to discern what is accurate and reliable.
So this is my learnings about biodiversity.
What is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the diverse kinds of living things in a given area.
And biodiversity refers to the richness and variety of life forms on Earth.
Biodiversity terms first used in 1988 by Edward O. Wilson. Bio, life, diversity, difference or variety. Biodiversity, variety of life.
There are four major of diversity. First, genetic diversity. Second, species diversity. Third, ecosystem diversity. Fourth, functional diversity.
How can we protect biodiversity? So we can protect biodiversity to support local and regional projects aimed at tackling biodiversity loss.
What I have learned about GMO is that they have both positive and negative effects. In the negative, we all know that this is a scientific process and may affect someone who has an allergy. And it also affects our biodiversity because some of our animals are relying on non-GMO plants. On the positive side, it will also help us sustain the needs of people, especially in some areas that are experiencing food shortages. And also, it is easy to market and reduce the farmland, which also decrease the use of herbicide and pesticides that leads to reduce the effect on our environment.